Hi, I'm Leah, and for the last 5 years, I've worked as an HR manager at a small furniture manufacturing company. I liked my job most of the time. I liked the people, the rhythm, the little victories, hiring someone who really fit, seeing them grow. But sometimes, late at night, I'd sit at my desk and think, is this it? Is this all I'll ever do? I didn't hate my job. I just knew I wanted something more. And then one day, something happened that completely changed the course of my career, and honestly, my life. It was a regular Tuesday morning. Coffee in hand, emails half read, a few resumes stacked on my desk. That's when he walked in. A tall, confident man in his early 30s, perfectly dressed, calm smile, a briefcase in hand. "Good morning," he said, shaking my hand. "Hi, I'm Eric, here for the accounting position." He had this calm, assured presence, like someone who already knew he'd get the job. I thought, finally, a candidate who seems to have his life together. We sat down. I went through my usual script: the responsibilities, company culture, salary range, benefits, yada yada. He nodded along, interested, engaged, even asked clever questions. Everything was going perfectly, until he suddenly said, sorry, Leah. I hope it's not a problem that I actually have zero experience in this field." I blinked. "What do you mean, zero?" He smiled nervously. "I've never worked in accounting. I just thought I'd give it a try." Now, usually, that's where the interview ends. No experience, no job. Simple as that. But something in his tone stopped me. He wasn't lying. He wasn't desperate. He was hopeful. And I don't know why, but I felt bad saying no. So I said, "Well, technically, we don't hire people without experience, but I can tell you really want this. Let's just say I won't mention that part in your report." His eyes widened. "Really? You'd do that?" I smiled. "Let's call it a professional leap of faith." He laughed quietly, stood up, and shook my hand again. "Thank you, Leah. I really appreciate it." I told him to come by tomorrow morning for training, and as I grabbed my files to leave for a meeting, he suddenly said, "Actually, could you stay for one more minute? There's something I need to tell you." I sighed, a little impatient. "Sure, what's up?" He looked me straight in the eye. "Leah, my name is Eric Daniels. I'm the CEO of a company called Everstone International." I froze. "What?" he continued, calm but serious. "I wasn't here for a job. I was here because your boss, Bob, recommended you. He said you are one of the best HR managers he's ever worked with, but he also said you're too good for this place." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I laughed. Awkwardly. "Oh, come on. This is a prank, right? Hidden camera somewhere?" He smiled. "No cameras, just honesty." He pulled out a card, Everstone International, Eric Daniels, CEO. Real gold lettering. Real signature. My heart started racing. Eric said, "I wanted to see who you are when you think no one's watching. You didn't know who I was, and yet you decided to give me a chance when you didn't have to. That tells me more about your character than any resume ever could." I was speechless. My palms were sweating. He leaned forward slightly and said, "I'm building a new HR department at my company, one that values compassion as much as competence. And I need someone to lead it." I could barely breathe. "You mean me?" He smiled. "You've been helping people find opportunities for years. How about working somewhere you can help even more of them?" There was a long pause. My heart felt like it would burst. I thought of all those nights doubting myself, all those times I wondered if I'd ever do something meaningful. And then I just said quietly, "I'd love that." He nodded. "Welcome to Everstone, Leah." That night, I sat in my small apartment, staring at the city lights outside my window. I wasn't rich. I wasn't suddenly someone else. But I felt something I hadn't felt in years: pride. Sometimes, the smallest act of kindness can turn your whole life around. I gave a stranger a chance, and he gave me one back. And you know what? Maybe that's what real success looks like. This is Leah from Insane Job JAMS. And that was the day I interviewed a billionaire without even knowing it.